I did not yell. I did give a few. What the hell are you doing? I did give a few of them.
We know you a busy man, Kobe, so we gonna jump right to it, man.
I'm gonna say Zion Little.
Is that dude in a swing?
I'm sick and sick with it, vision and lift it. Listen, just picture it, spit and deliver it. The time froze, undercurrent, how the grind flows. Wrist flicking, said the bezels, got a mind blown. You know how to drop beat, everything's slow. You know how to drop beats and anything goes. Pull up to the spot, you might see the squad there. Pull up unannounced, then you might see a broad, yeah. It's just seconds remaining, and I got the rock for the win while you're watching the shot clock. It's just seconds remaining, and I got the rock for the win. Thanks for watching the shot clock. The shot clock. You catch the shot clock every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
We never getting that $1 million.
Hey man, what's going on, everybody? Man, G-Day Hoop Scout here. Shot 30 clock. Special team ranking edition that we'll be doing here on today, December the 30th. It's almost New Year, so I feel like it wasn't a lot of games. There was games today, but not a lot of games going on today. Most of the games were in the morning time or like the afternoon, I should say. Afternoon time, and so I feel instead of dropping the rankings as we do at noon every Monday, why not wait and do a show and drop the rankings on the show? And then after the show, they'll also be up on the website with actual win-loss records. And then also updated right now on the website on bshnetwork.com. If you go to the Houston, the insider of the Houston site, and you go and you click on like district standings down there, that is updated everybody's team record and the district standings, all that's updated. And then I've also included top players as far as the max prep stats. Now I know every team don't put their stats on max preps, and we had a big episode about that last season, where some people, several coaches, stated that they don't want nobody scouting their team via stats. But coaches scout your team via video through Huddle, and they swap film with each other. So I don't understand what's the difference. Even if you have the stats, that still doesn't mean that you're going to stop it. Just like teams who have the video, that doesn't mean that they're going to stop the kid. But it is what it is. I would love if every high school team did put all their stats. Huddle does your stats for you. It's pretty easy, and you can just convert it straight from Huddle to Max Preps. It's an easy step to convert all stats that you get from Huddle straight to the Max Preps. There's easy. It's an easy route to do so. I just wish every team did it, because for football, every team definitely does it. No matter if they go 0-10 on the season, their stats is up every week. And so I don't understand why on the basketball side, why it's not done. But that's not too important, but would like to highlight those kids. So we did like top 25 scores of Greater Houston, all this is regardless of classification. It's all in the same district standings. So at the bottom tab, you have your 6A standings, 5A, 4A, 3A, private school standings, and then we have stats at the bottom tab, or it's at the top tab. If you click on that link on BSH Network, and then we'll have the team rankings updated on BSH Network as well. The team rankings are powered by Shot 30 Clock, and since we're here on this episode, I hope that y'all can hear me, because I'm not wearing headphones, because I know I don't think nobody's going to join today. So I don't need to hear what they're going to say, but I hope you guys can hear me. And so as far as our rankings go, we have a group of voters. And so it's the, people who you see on the shot clock, as well as some other people who's out in the basketball community as well. And then we also do a double computer ranking. So I use Max Prep's computer rankings, which to me aren't the best. And then I have my own BSH Power Index, Balso Hard Power Index computer rankings with a computer formula that I created that was used when Prep Hoop Circuit was first created, the rankings that they still use to this day. And then also Next Pro 16 uses the same thing for their team rankings. And that's all the Ball So Hard Power Index, just in case y'all didn't know. But at that time, I was with Prep Hoops. I still had Ball So Hard, but I was with Prep Hoops. They was trying to introduce the circuit. So I introduced something to them. Of course, I got paid for it. So it is what it is. It's not like they just stole and ran with my idea. I was compensated for it. Same thing with the Pro 16 as well. So so we have double computer rankings. So the computers, their votes get put in, then everybody you see on Shot 30 Clock, and then other people in the basketball community who gets to vote as well. And so it's not just one person. And I know I get all the feedback for the votes, and honestly I don't care about that. Y'all can keep saying, "Man, G-Day, you got us too low," but it's just not me. I may vote you number 2. Somebody else may vote you number 8. Computer may have you at number 4. Other computer may have you at number 7. And so it all averages itself out, and then populates itself from that by average. And so it's not just one person vote. There's no overriding of the votes. It's just how everybody goes in. Either Sunday night, Monday morning, calculate their votes. I transfer over the computer votes on Monday morning, and then it's populated, and boom, you have the rankings. Excuse me. And then you have the rankings, and so that is that. So we will go small school, small private school to large private school. Then we'll do UIL 3A, UIL 4A, UIL 5A, then UIL 6A. And we'll wrap it up, close it out, man. I ain't going to hold you guys too long. I definitely am going to be clipping this up so that this can get posted later on as well on the Shot 30 Clock on the Twitter side. Got to run up the numbers over there as far as followers. So if y'all haven't, make sure you go follow Shot 30 Clock on Twitter. That way I can start streaming it to that platform instead of streaming it to the Ball So Hard scouting service on Twitter's platform. So if y'all have not done that, please make sure y'all do that for me. Also, while y'all at it, man, make sure that y'all, if you on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, make sure that you retweet the show right now. You can quote tweet or whatever. Send it to somebody. If you're on YouTube, copy that link, share it, send it to somebody real quick. If you're on Facebook, make sure you share it and like it as well, man. And we're going to keep playing this algorithm game and keep running up our numbers. And since this is a Shot 30 Clock show, before we get to the rankings, I definitely have to play sponsorship. We still have sponsorships. All right, I gotta stop saying the word sponsorship. So if you would like to, advertisement is the word, not sponsorships. Advertisement. So we have advertisements that we have to run. We have to run the one advertisement. If you would like to advertise, we have 3 different tiers: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. On tier 1 is a $10 it's a $10 tier. It's tier 1. And so twice throughout whenever we do a show, twice throughout the show, your flyer gets put up, and then whatever you want us to say, either me, Doug, Baller Plug, somebody will read read what you want us to say. And so if, I know AAU trials is coming up. So if you want to get them on here, it's $10. It's for the whole month. It's not just for one show. So the whole month. So if we're doing 4 to 8 shows within a month, because we're going to try to do some more shows. If we're doing at least 4 shows, one Sunday every month, that $10, and we're getting almost 2,000 views a week. So like right now, 225 people are watching it live, but then the playback, by the time when I go back on Friday and look at the numbers, it's going to be well over 1,000 people. So that's really good marketing being pushed out to different people. So first tier, $10 tier, twice throughout the show, your flyer gets put up. We read whatever the information that you want the public to know. Tier 2 is a $25 tier, where it's still a flyer that gets put up. We read the information, but instead of just twice during the show, it's 4 times during the show. And then tier 3 is our $50 tier, where you actually do a video, and we will play video advertisement 3 times throughout the show. And then we will also, your flyer will also go up throughout the show twice as well. And so we're trying to get businesses out there for people. There's lots of people who watch the show who are just basketball fans. And if you have a business, barbershop, cutting grass, AAU tryouts, you're selling cakes, you're selling food, plates, whatever, just start up a food truck, whatever business that you have, get some advertisement, man. Is great. We have the numbers. You never know who's going to see it and who would choose to use the services. So we're going to run this right here. Make sure for any injuries that you go to Cypress Elixir. All right, let's go. Hey, make sure that y'all get signed up. Any type of muscle recovery. Recovery is very important for your body if you're playing sports. Even if you don't play sports, and you've just been having like weird aches and pains, go get some recovery. They do a really good job over there. That is Elixir Muscle and Recovery over in Cypress, over off of Telgy Road. Let's get to it, man. We're going to start with the small private school rankings first. Top 15 teams of the small private school and independent. And here we go. Staying at number 1, man. They've been number 1 the whole entire season, all the way from preseason now to week 8. And that is Houston Homeschool Raiders, man. They continue to hold that number 1 spot. Really tough team, man. They got some solid games on the schedule coming up here in January. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can keep that spot. Now they beat some, some of the bigger some of the bigger private schools already throughout the season. So they got a couple more big matchups. And so we'll see how well they do. Legacy School of Sports Sciences Maroon team checks in at number 2. Last week they was number 3. They bump up a spot. Galveston O'Connell had a really good showing out at the Lee College Classic this past weekend. They went 2-2, but they dropped down just 1 spot to the number 3 spot. Aggieland Homeschool stays at number 4. School of the Woods at number 5. Calvary Baptist in Conroe stays at number 6. Founders Christian stays at 7. Faith West stays at 8. Houston Adventist Academy stays at number 9. EOP White went out of town this weekend, brought back home some hardwood. They bump up from number 12 to number 10. Legacy White, also they played in the Houston Private School Classic this past weekend for the holiday as well. They brought home the silver, championship game. Brazosport dropped down 2 slots from 12 to 2, as well as Legacy Christian. And Beaumont dropped down 2 spots from 11 to 13. CHSA Homeschool Wolverines remain at number 14, and Bob Hope comes in at number 15. We got 4 teams who received votes within the rankings system, and that is International Leadership, Texas, Katie West Park, Kingwood Christian Life, Humble Christian, and Steel Creek Christian. And that is your small private / independent school rankings for the week 8, man. Week 8 of high school basketball, man. We already passed that halfway mark, and so everybody's about to get down to the nitty gritty within district play and to see who's going to qualify for playoffs, where they're going to be seated. Now, private school playoffs is a little different than UIL. Almost everybody gets to go, and so they're fighting for seeding right now as they head into their district play. Moving on to the large independent and private school rankings. Remaining at number 1 is Legacy School of Sports Sciences. This is their national team. Xavier Academy comes in at or stays at number 2. Pretty much 1 through 7 remains the same as far as the ranking. Second Baptist, they just took home the Platinum Championship at the Houston Private School Classic, where they hosted the event. St. Francis Episcopal is out in California at the Torrey Pines playing in the National Division. They fared really well this weekend out there in California. Marion Academy, they lost to Second Baptist in the championship game of the Houston Private School Classic. Empire Others Prep, their red national team was off this week. They stayed at number 6, and the Willis Christian went to Collinsville, Illinois, where they played in the championship and fell to Quincy, Illinois, who is one of the top 20 teams within the state of Illinois. They beat them this weekend, but while they were there, Howie King, who is the standout player for the Willis Christians, who was committed to Montana State, his father, Richard King, was an All-American when he was in high school, and they retired his jersey at Collinsville High School. So that was pretty cool to be able to go play at his dad's old high school, where they honored his dad, retired his jersey, and make it to the championship game of the event. A little bit of movement going on from 8 to 15. You have St. John's. They jumped up from 9 to 8. Good Vision drops down from 8 to 9. Episcopal jumps up to number 10. Northland Christian jumps down to number 11. All International comes in at number 12. St. Thomas, who had a really good showing at the Houston Private School Classics at 13, the Village as well, also played in that tournament. Good showing with Evan Cochran at number 14. And then First Baptist Christian still stays in here at number 15. St. Thomas and the Village last week were not ranked top 15 in week 7. They were in the receiving votes part, but they have jumped up and find themselves within the top 15. A couple other teams who are receiving votes as well within the ranking system. You have Houston Christian, Fort Bend Christian, Rose Hill Christian, Kincaid, Legacy Prep Christian, which is out in the Tomball Woodlands area, St. Pius X, and then PSAT Academy. All those teams were receiving votes for your large private schools. Up next, man, before we get to our UILs, we're gonna run the ad again. Once again, we have 3 different tiers. Make sure that you guys take advantage of this situation. Like I said earlier, before I ran the first ad, we was at 225. We're at 315 people watching live right now. We've been doing well over 1,000. Lots of times over 2,000 views just throughout the week on the show. Really good to get some advertisement going. Whatever business you have, barbershop, cutting grass, muscle recovery, which is one that we're going to run today. They took advantage of they're taking advantage of the situation. Whatever it is, if you're selling food, whatever little side hustle business you got, man. AAU trials is coming up. Get your flyers. Let's run your ads. $10 is tier 1. Tier 2 is $25, and tier 3 is a $50 advertisement. And all advertisements is for the whole entire week. The bigger the tier, the more advertisement you get, more airtime that you get right here. So we're going to run this ad real quick for Elixir Muscle Recovery. Make sure if you've got any aches, injuries, pains, don't just have to be basketball, volleyball, football, baseball, whatever sports you play. If you work construction or whatever, make sure that you go visit them over there at Elixir Muscle Recovery in Cypress. All right, we back, man. Once again, make sure that you go over there, Elixir Muscle Recovery in Cypress. Make sure that you go over there, take care of your bodies. Rest is important. Recovery is important. Be able to stay at maximum. Excuse me, felt like someone was to stay at maximum strength. Dang, that kind of bad me doing that. All right, moving on. We're into UIL. We're about to do 3. We're going to jump right into the rankings, man. UIL 3A. UIL 3A did not have a lot of movement really take place as far as up and downs go. Voting was really close, though. I will say, I put up 4A. My bad, y'all. 3A. Here we go. 3A. My apologies. I had put up 4A. Not a lot of movement really took place, but within the voting, it was a lot of votes were really close. Really close voting on this one this week for week 8 for UIL 3A. Coming in, remaining at number 1 is Kuntz. Kuntz Lions have been taking care of business. I want to say they've won 3 tournaments this year. In the tournaments that they played, they won all the championships. Shout out to those guys over there. Zach Sells, Mason Dono, Cardell Lowe and crew over there taking care of business, getting things done. Hitchcock comes in at number 2, back-to-back state champions. Hitchcock looking to make another run to make a 3-peat. Had a couple of bumps throughout the season, but right now they're playing pretty solid basketball as they sit at 13-7 on the season. East Chambers remains at number 3 despite losing 2 games this weekend. Once to Shepherd and once to Vidron and Orangefield stays at number 4 as well. They stay at number 4. On Alaska stays at number 5. Now, East Chamber, Orangefield, on Alaska was all separated by 1 point apiece. So East Chamber had 1 more point than Orangefield, and Orangefield only had 1 more point than on Alaska. Really close race between that 3 and 5 spot right here. So it's going to be really interesting. I know Orangefield and East Chambers play this week as a district matchup. They're in the same district with Kuntz. And as you see, they got 3 teams ranked in the top 10. And they're all in the same district. And the same goes with On Alaska. On Alaska has Crockett and Trinity, who is within their district. And that's 3 teams from their district that's ranked within the top 10. So those 2 districts for 3A are really solid districts. And so I want y'all to make sure that y'all be on the lookout when the grind article comes out and we award our players of the month. Let me take it off so you can see me. So when our grind articles comes out every month, we do an article called The Grind, where we like to honor who we feel was the best coach of the month, regardless of classification. For all these awards, who was the best guard, who was the best wing, who was the best forward or post, who's the best freshman of the month, and then we sprinkle in other things within the article, give it some depth. It's about a 10 to 15 minute read. I want to say, let me see. The last one was 15 to 20 minute read. So it's about that time, but we put a lot into it. And so we're also going to have the Ball So Hard Power Index district rankings, and we're going to break that down by classification and have district rankings and see which district is the best going down to the least as far as their records and strength of schedules go. Um, and prospects. So all that goes into our computer system within our Boston Hard Power Index, and it's going to separate them. And we'll briefly discuss within the article different things um, about each district as well. And we may even come back and do a show on the Boston Hard Power Index district reveals, and we'll have some other things in the article. Let's get back to the IL 318 rankings. Crockett at number 6. There was number 7 last week. Rice had a really good showing. Went 4-0 this weekend. They beat Boiling, who was number 6, drops down to number 8. Rice was number 9. They jump up to number 7. Trinity comes in at number 9. They drop down the spot from 8 to 9. And Industrial, who was on the outside looking in last week with the receiving votes, has jumped up and come in at number 10. 5 teams that we have who receive votes as well from the panel. You had Cold Spring Oakhurst, Anderson Shiro, the Fighting Owls, Columbus, who is still yet to play a game, but they have a lot of favor going towards them. They have a kid, Grayson Rigdon, who transferred in, was at a small 1A school, won state every year playing 7-man football, won state at basketball last year. He comes over to Columbus. Columbus wins state in football this year. And now he's about to take the basketball court. That kid is really good, man. You also have Edna, and then Brazos is the final team who's receiving votes as far as UIL 3A goes within our team rankings. Before we go to 4A, once again, just kind of want to give a little bit of insight on our team rankings. And so it's the panel that you see here when we do the Shot Clock Show. We all vote on the team rankings. Then we have other members who are outside the panel within the basketball community who's watching, like people who are in Southeast Texas, Houston. Like we have people who vote. And then we do a dual computer vote. We do Max Preps as one of our computer votes. And then I've set up, as I just mentioned, the Boston Hard Power Index, which is a computer ranking system that I developed myself, which takes a lot of work at the beginning of the season. But once you just start plugging in everything, like the beginning of the season, it's all about putting schedules on there, all that. But the formula takes care of itself once you just start plugging in the games and the point differentials and who won and who what, and it populates itself. It's really good job, really dope thing that I created that I've also, I won't share all that information again, but so we do that. We do a dual computer system. Then we have a couple guys who are voting on the team rankings. And I know I received the blunt of it, which I'm cool with that. I don't mind. I don't duck no smoke when it comes to it. Because I'm the forefront of the platform. But that's how our team rankings go. So it's not just one person, and I don't go in and override anything. Just however it populates itself, it comes out. That's it. Moving on to UIL 4A, top 10 rankings 4A for week 8. We have Stafford, who remains unbeaten on the season. They are the only undefeated team in the whole entire Greater Houston area, regardless of classification, sitting at 20-0 on the season. Huffman Hargrave, who just went on like a 4 or 5 game streak of scoring 100+ points. The more they dropped the game in the championship game this past weekend to Georgetown, which is out of the Austin area this weekend. But they jump up from number 3 to number 2. Lamarck, who was at number 2, Lamarck was undefeated going into the weekend, but they dropped 2 games to the exact same team, which was Vider. Vider beat them twice at the tournament that they were playing in. Lamarck drops down from 2 to 3. And so this is an interesting. Vider was at number 10, but they jump up to number 6. And so like the computers and myself really gave, like we did we did good voting, like towards Vider, like because I pay attention to the games, who played who, um, and what, and the other voters do too. I'm not gonna say that they don't pay attention to it as well, but. So Lamar drops down one spot. Booker T Wheatley remains at 4 and 5. Vider, like I said, jumps from number 10 to number 6. Yates drops down from 6 to 7. Fort Bend Crawford jumps up from 9 to 8. Shout out to Crawford as well. They won another championship. I want to say that was their second tournament championship that they've won through this season. Tarkington drops down from number 7 to number 9. They had lost the game to Lumberton, and then Silsby had a rough weekend, but they remain in the top 10. They dropped down from number 8 to number 10. A couple other teams that are receiving votes. You have Bridge City, you have Livingston, Hampshire Finette, Shepherd, Wharton, Worthing High School, and then Brazosport High School as well, all receiving votes. Before we go to our 5A and 6A, got to run this ad real quick. Prevent injuries and increase your performance with Elixir Muscle Recovery of Cypress, Texas. Recovery is used for muscle soreness and pain, muscle tightness, joint soreness and pain, muscle fatigue to increase blood circulation, joint limitations, bruising and contusions, swelling, a lack of flexibility, mental fatigue, and concussion symptoms. Hey, make sure that you go here to get your injuries prevented and to increase your performance. Rehabilitative taping, dynamic compression devices, active cold compression, whole body vibration for a really good stretch. Make sure that you get over here and check these guys out, man, and take care of your body, man. Make sure you are preventing injuries and increasing your performance to a maximum level. Hey, like I said, we got ads. Tier 1 advertisement, Tier 2 advertisement, Tier 3 advertisement. Make sure that y'all take advantage of these advertisements. Our numbers keep growing up as the show continues to go on, man. We're at 400 people. George, right now, I was about to say 399. Just went to 400 people watching live. Let's jump into this UIL 5A real quick, and then after that, 6A, and then we'll be wrapping it up for the evening. All right, UIL 5A, top 20 rankings for week 8 of high school basketball. Fort Bend Marshall has another team who's been ranked number 1 from preseason, and we're here at week 8, and they're still ranked as the number 1 5A team within Greater Houston. Same goes for Westbrook. They was number 2 preseason, still ranked at number 2 here in the week 8 of the high school basketball ranking. Friendswood remains at number 3. Our Colony, who participated in the VIPE invitational event this weekend, jumps up from 5 to 4. Barbers Hill was also in that same event. Barbers Hill dropped 2 games, but they only dropped from 4 to 5 within the rankings. Port Arthur Memorial beat Beaumont United, and then went and played in a district game, and then went and played in the Lee College Classic, where they met up with Beaumont Westbrook, which is a district foe for them, in the championship game. And Beaumont Westbrook beat Memorial in the championship game. Port Arthur Memorial still makes a slight jump from 7 to number 6. LaPorte the Bulldogs were in the Lee College Classic as well. They dropped down from 6 to 7. United stays at number 8. Brenham stays at number 9. Nederland jumps up a couple spots from 12 to number 10. Montgomery drops from 10 to 11. Crosby jumps up from 14 to 12. Kingwood Park drops down from 11 to 13. Huntsville was 13 last week. They dropped down to number 14. Waltrip remains at number 15. Angleton stays at 16. Springwood stays at 17. Dayton stays at 18. College Station stays at 19. And a new team jumps into the top 20, and that is Fort Bend Kempner. They played in the Texas versus Louisiana Holiday Classic, where they took care of business, got some dubs, and find themselves in the top 20 of Week 8 for the rankings. So we got some really tough districts, like the Beaumont Westbrook, Barbers Hill, Port Arthur Memorial, Beaumont United, and Nederland. Those 5 teams are all in the same district, and they're all in top 10 of the rankings, but only 4 teams will get to go to the playoffs. That team also has two more teams who are receiving votes. We'll talk about them here shortly as well. But to have 5 teams ranked in the top 10, and then 2 more teams, that's 7 out of your 8 teams from the district who have received some type of votes within the top 20 system for UIL 5A. Another tough district, Franzwood, Iowa Colony, LaPorte, and you also have a team receiving votes from that district as well. That's going to be another tough district when it comes down to all these district games. Franzwood 3, Iowa Colony 4, LaPorte is number 7. That's 3. 3 of those teams are in the top 10 ranking for UIL 5A. That lets you know how tough that district is going to be this season as well. And then you have Brenham, Montgomery, Huntsville, College Station, all in the same district with 2 more teams from that district. No, with 3 more teams from that district receiving votes as well within the ranking system. So that shows you what type of district that's going to be as well. So 5A has 3 really solid districts, and it'll be interesting to see where they rank within the district rankings for the Boston Hard Power Index, which will be released on either New Year's Day or the day after New Year's. It'll be released on one of those days, and so it'll be interesting to see where everybody falls. But on some teams who are receiving votes, first we'll start with Rudder. Rudder was number 20 last week. They took some bumps. They dropped a couple games this weekend in tournament play, and so they find themselves on the outside looking in, but they're still receiving votes. Then you have Richmond Randall, Baytown Sterling receiving votes. Pasadena's receiving votes. Port Nature's Groves receiving votes. Lake Creek is receiving votes, and they've been playing some really good basketball as of late. Galveston Ball receiving votes, and A&M Consolidated, and that rounds out your top 20 teams as far as the UIL 5A goes. Moving on to the heavy hitter, the UIL 6A. UIL 6A top 25 ranking. Not a lot of movement that really took place. No, any team who was in the top 10 remains in the top 10. Just a couple teams were shifted around. Just period. Like there's only one team that fell out of the ranking, and one team finds themselves in the rankings this weekend. But every team, 24 of the 25 teams were ranked last week in week 7. And let's go through them. Shadow Creek, still number 1, even though they dropped the game to Allen. Allen is really, really good. Really good basketball team. Arguably, I couldn't even get the word out. Them and San Antonio Brennan 1 or 2 within the state. I mean, however you like it. Those are your top 2 teams in the state. Both teams are ranked nationally as well on multiple national platforms. Just as a public high school to be ranked up there with all the big time preps. And they've taken care of business against a couple of prep schools as well and a couple of showcase events. So shout out to Allen and Brendan. But Allen beat Shadow Creek this past week in tournament play. Katie Jordan stays at number 2, even though they dropped the championship game to Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial at the Vipe. A lot of guys were banged up and injured. I'm not making any excuses for them. I'm just letting people know, like, who they had playing and what, and so they wasn't at 100% that game with all their players. If they was, we'll be talking about a whole different conversation. Shout out Coach Jones and crew. Atascocita stays at number 3. Cinco Ranch jumps up from number 5 to number 4. Clear Spring had a really good weekend at the Conroe Christmas Classic. They jump up from 7 to 5. Ridge Point, who dropped the game to the Catholic out of Louisiana in the Louisiana versus Texas showcase, they dropped down from number 4 to number 6. Seven Lakes had a really good showing this weekend at the Straight Jesuit Christmas Classic. Excuse me, y'all. Straight Jesuit Christmas Classic. And they jump up from number 10 to number 7. Travis drops down from 6 to 8. Bel Air from 8 to 9. And Grand Oaks from 9 to 10. Grand Oaks took a tough loss to Lufkin as they went up to Lufkin and played in their holiday classic this week. Like I said, those top 10 teams, they was all within top 10s last week. They just was a little shuffled around. So it's just a little, just some tiny adjustments that really took place as far as when the votings were all collected. And it was all polled together. And that's where you have the top 10. Same thing with your 11 through 20, pretty much the same thing going on. Bush remains at number 11. Cater remains at 12. C.E. King was 14. They're 13 this week. Summer Creek at 14. Fort Bend Austin at 15. Cy Falls was 17. Now they're 16. This week, Cy Creek was 19. They jumped up to number 17. West Side was number 16. They dropped down to number 18. Cy Springs was number 21. They jumped to number 19. And then College Park was number 22. They jumped to number 20. And then the final 5 within your top 25, you got Cy Park at number 21. Cy Park was 25th last week in the rankings. They jump up to number 21. They played really solid, had some really competitive games at the Straight Jesuit Christmas event as well. And the Straight Jesuit drops down from number 18 to number 22. That Straight Jesuit little holiday classic had a lot of really heavy hitting teams. You had Seven Lakes, Travis, Bush, Cinco Ranch, Cy Park, Cy Woods played, Straight Jesuit. I know I'm missing a team, I'm off the top of the head, but they had a lot of like really good teams who participated in the event. Shout out to Coach Amorosa. Number 23, Clearbrook. They was number 20, dropped down to 23. South Houston remains at number 24 as they participated in the Brazos Sport ISD tournament this past weekend. And then number 25 is the new team within the rankings, and that is Katy Paetow. They jump up. They was just receiving votes last week, but they go from receiving votes to find themselves ranked in the top 25. Team who dropped out of the top 25 was Clear Falls. They was number 23 last week. Hit a couple of rough spots this past week in the Lee College Classic. Find themselves right there if you did a number 26 at 26. Top team receiving votes. Other teams who are receiving votes as far as 6A, you have the Heights, Fort Bend Clements, who's been kind of on a roll, Dickinson, Kingwood, Willis, Clear Lake, Cy Ranch, Cy Woods, and Fort Bend Hightower. And those are the teams as far as your top 25 goes for UIL 6A. Once again, voting is a double computer system. So we use Max Preps, their rankings, and then I created a ranking system, a computer ranking system as well. A computer ranking system as well. The Boston Hard Power Index is what I call it. And then you have me and the other panel members that you see here on every Sunday who's on the show, who vote. And then you also have a couple other guys who are outside that you don't see on the panel. But they're out at games, a lot of games. And they're voting as well. So it's not just one person. Like I said earlier, I know I received the blunt of it, and that's cool. I don't mind. I've never dodged any smoke from anybody, regardless of what it was, if basketball, non-basketball, just life period. Um, so I don't mind taking the blunt end of it, and saying that I don't know anything and all that stuff. Hey man, if you feel slighted, you feel like we overlooking you, whatever, um, keep playing. My computer ranking does a really good job. Max, I use Max Preps as well, but and I know some teams have beaten teams, but just because you beat a team, don't make you rank. So we can use college basketball for example. When one of those little teams beat a team in the top 25, the next week they're not in the top 25, and the team that wasn't top 25, if they were like really high, like in the top tens, they're not dropping completely out the rankings. So just what is what it is. Just keep playing, man. Keep hooping. Like I said, we got district standings. It's updated on the BSH network. Rankings will be on BSH network. I'm laughing at I just now seen the message, man. Hey man, I ain't got no Stephen A voice, man. I'm just being G Day, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate every coach. I am sad that I did miss out on the Conroe Christmas Classic. I was supposed to be there, but sometimes life throws you curveballs, man, and just had a lot of stuff that I had to take care of on a personal end. Back home, home, not here in Texas, back home in Illinois, had to take care of some things, and then be here as well. Take care of things here as well. Just things messing up all over, and just try and do my best as a person, man. But I appreciate all y'all for tuning in to the ranking show, man. Once again, man, we have advertisement opportunities. Tier 1, $10. Get your ad run twice throughout the show. We get 2,000 views a week. So I mean, y'all, you can do the math from that. Tier 2, $25. Advertisements ran 4 times. Tier 3 is $50. You get 3 video. Third video is about to be ran. Then you get 2 ads. And so we ran this the regular ad. Elixir Muscle Recovery of Cypress, Texas. Talk about it, prevent injuries, increase your performance. Read through the list for you guys, and then we run the advertisement as well. A video ad, only tier 3 with the $50. And so you get a video ad as well with the tier 3, $50. That was the 3rd time we ran the ad. So 3 times video, 2 times with the poster ad. And get some visibility, man. You don't know, like I said, 2,000 people watch the show. You don't know who needs what. Put yourself out there. You got AU trials coming out. Send your flyers in, man. Send your $10. Get your ad ran twice a week on the show that gets 2,000 views. You own the barbershop. You need trying to get some more customers. People watch from all over. People watch from other states as well. Not just here in Houston. But you never know who's in your area who's watching. So run y'all advertisements, man. Hey, use us. Use this. And I guarantee you'll more than recruit your advertisements money back. But man, until the next time, like I said, once again, appreciate all y'all. Till the next time, y'all be easy, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe, y'all have fun. I'm older, man. I'm 41 years old. I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm not gonna be out doing much or nothing. So just gonna be chilling in the house, maybe light a couple fireworks outside the house with my neighbors, and that's it, man, for my New Year's, man. But y'all be safe. Y'all be careful out there. People been driving crazy. I'm been almost run off the road every day during this holiday break, driving somewhere. So y'all be safe, man. Y'all be careful, man. Y'all be blessed. Pay it forward to somebody. Be kind to somebody. Be nice to somebody. But until next time, hey, that's